Hi, so I'm making this video for those of you out there upgrading your thermostats. You may have been using something like this, a Honeywell. This was a Honeywell model. You can see it, TH8321R1001. Excuse me, TH8321R1001. So it was a good thermostat. It just didn't really have any Wi-Fi capabilities unless you bought a special router for it. So I decided to upgrade, and this is a Carrier CH14 air conditioner and handler. This unit has a heat pump. So I'm in Florida, so we have a forced hot air system. Air conditioner runs literally every day except for maybe 2 or 3 days a year. I want to show you the back of this really quickly so you can see the wiring connections, and I have a picture I'm going to add to this video later, but you can see this is what the connections were before, and now I'm going to show you what the connections are after. So I'm going to post the pictures that of the old Honeywell, and these are the new connections for the Nest, and these will work. This has been tested already. So if you notice on the Nest, I'm going to put it up now. You can see there's a little connection there for diagnostics on the bottom, and then where my thumb is, that's the actual connection that allows the wire to connect to the software that you see on the screen. So you have to make sure you have that lined up, and there's a little level here to make sure you install the the plate that receives the thermostat correctly. So what I do is I line up the bottom piece, this gray piece, where my the bottom there, that little gray connection, I line it up, and you can see that I'm going to do that now and put it in. So it just snaps in place. There. So it's connected. Now I shut the power off on the unit, so I'm going to put the power on now. It'll power up, and it'll put some juice over to this Nest, and you'll see that it'll come on. So this is the process for once you wire everything and you put the power back on to the air handler. It sends over electrical signals allowed to flow through those wires over to the connections you made behind that thermostat onto the plate. So it does take a while to boot up. This is a real-time boot up, so you can get an idea how long it's going to take for you when you install yours. So I'm not going to talk while this does this, but I am going to leave this run because I want everyone to know how long it takes so you don't freak out. I was kind of surprised it was a little longer of a boot up time. So my thermostat's been off for a while, so it's going to definitely be warm. And you can hear, while this is spinning, I'm starting to make some noise over here. It's starting to warm up. And I'm calling for air conditioning now because it's very hot here. And it says the wiring has changed. Yes, it has. And it tells you, it confirms how you wire this. So you can see I have a heat pump, and I'm good with that. You press it down. I'm fine with that. Done. And now the real test is, will it come on in 1 minute and 42 seconds? So you can see there's a little bit of a delay here. I know the suspense is killing me too. I know this is dead time on a video, which everyone hates, but this is life. This is how long it took me to, to do this. So you could fast forward a minute on this if you want to see what happens next. So right now my internal temperature where I am right now is 84. And we keep our house set at 74, so this is normal. I did run into a problem. I have two, I'll try to make this 40 seconds worth of information. I have two of these. I have two units. So this is my downstairs unit. It's, you can see it's a 3.5 ton, and the upstairs unit's like 2 tons. So this unit cools the downstairs, and when I installed the upstairs one, the Nest app wouldn't receive it. So I had to go in and basically reset the WWN connection. And if you go through all the diagnostics and the menus, you can do this yourself, but I had to do that to get it to, for the Nest app to accept my second thermostat, because I installed this one first, but I wired it incorrectly. So I went upstairs and fooled around with that one, and I put my old thermostat on down here and to get it working. So you can see now it should be calling for air conditioning, I hope, because I don't want to do this again. I hear it starting up. And you hear the sound of the air conditioning. It appears to be working. When I did this last night, I had the settings wrong, and the air conditioner was on, but it was throwing up some hot air, 100-degree temperature air. So here's a trick for you guys out there. This is a meat thermometer. Tells you the room temperature very nicely. Poke a hole in your air duct, put that in there, and you can see what temperature it's blowing air, cold air through there. So you can see that it's blowing nice cold air. It's going to get down below 50 probably, below 60. It'll probably be in the high 50s, and that'll be perfect. You want at least 15-degree differential between what you're calling for and what it's throwing out from the pump outside. So you can see it's below 59, so that's 15 degrees plus. It's even lower, so this is great, it's working. So we have a winner. I will tell you, I had my wires crossed, and I'm going to post up the still pictures of the correct wiring diagram that I used for this. So it took a little doing. Last night I couldn't get it to work, and I was a little frustrated, so I put my old Honeywell back on and played around with the upstairs since my kids are away and no one's up there, and I didn't care if it got hot. But I got it to work right away when I changed my wiring to reflect the type of system I had. There's a couple different wiring patterns, and depending on the make of your air conditioning company product, you know, the air handler and the condenser outside, it really depends. It'll change the wiring. So this is for a heat pump unit. Most homes down here in Florida have a forced hot air system with a heat pump outside. So you have to be cognizant of which type of wiring diagram you used, and I made a mistake. So be careful and good luck.